got it. Red wine, white wine. We stepped the gate ourselves.
tourists come for vacation. Man, them always compliment we as a people so free and so friendly. Be like we in a land of natural beauty. God bless our country. Bless our native land. Grant us the courage to change the things we can for the progress in our land. Because it's the land of my birth. This night, this night, this night, this night, night, this night, natural beauty is so clean. And I feel so proud and I want to scream. Crazy, 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 crazy. It's a crazy life, crazy world, crazy boys, crazy girls. It's a crazy life, crazy love. I'm at that love in a crazy world. If you know the things that love can do to you, it could hurt your head and break your heart in two. If tomorrow, boy, your woman gon' leave you, what you gonna do? Get a next one, find a next one, get a next girl. When things get lonely, surely, when all the nights are cold, you need someone to hold. That boy don't lose control. Don't go crazy, take it easy. When you're alone at home, pick up your telephone. When you get that dial tone, but Anthony, Jamie, and Simone, but don't go crazy, woman. Don't go crazy, huge man. Don't go crazy, fish in the sea for we. Don't go crazy, woman. Don't go.
Hey, TDO, Siki Babanka.
بس مناخ تقول لي
Tala kunchina, umana wan ayina, hanim felgata low. Chikiru betno, baby fire they go. Only boss you don't call and the boss some come. She conjo, mata baby, oh yeah. And they done it to me, oh yeah. I pretend it's no time. I go tell my mama, oh yeah. I go tell my papa.
Yes, I Music.
Baby, sawale.
Yans, sans, I can find you, but it's good to Sassans. It's like Baba. tu contrôles les trappes. Garagate.
Anti baby sawale. Sawa sawale. Sawa sawale.
Listen to the melody when I'm singing to you, girl. Yo, I am feeling, just feeling, I'm feeling.
Yes, I don't forget about the song. Wow. We just prime it up, you know what it goes.
Do you see what I'm seeing? I am feeling, I know you feel it too. Girl, I know it's true, yeah. Do you want me to try to hold it back? Tell me, baby, do you like it like that when I rock with you? Ooh, girl, let me take you to Toco Loco when the sun go low. We could go and go, girl, go. I'm talking hours and non-stop jam. You is a gem, let me take your hand, just come and go, girl, go. Say, girl, why you do me that? Make big man get a heart attack, girl. The way you look back when you rock back, I feel away when you whine so pretty wine. Flash me a pretty smile. What's on your pretty mind? Tell me, baby, so can you bring me out of my bubble? I see in double, baby, bubble, cause some trouble. Break me out of my bubble. I see in double, baby, bubble. I'm in trouble. You make me reach for the ceiling. You give me life, new meaning. I'll take a walk with you, swim in the ocean too, girl. And I go take it to the top of the hill up there. Then I go take you right back down to play under the moon. So girl, I hope you don't leave too soon. Let me take you to Toco Loco when the sun go low. Girl, we could go and go, girl, go. I'm talking hours and non-stop jam. You is a gem, let me take your hand, just come and go, girl, go. Girl, why you do me that? Make big man get a heart attack, girl. The way you look back when you rock back, I feel of history like the African side, yeah. St. Thomas and St. John and St. Christ. Nothing can come between us but the waters that divide, yeah. Even though we're just a few square miles, I travel around the world with Virgin Island pride, yeah. A lot of people still going through strife, and still we live a joyful life. That's why the place nice, so nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas nice, so nice, so nice. St. Cry full of pure vibes, so nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise, so nice, so nice. We got so much to lose, yet so much to prove. Virgin Island teachers never raise no fool. Mama sent me school. Hey. When it's difficult, we still a push through. No matter what the blessings of will continue. We are a people of great value. That's why we stick together like tamarind stew. And remember Queen Mary, we make the fire burn. And Edward blinded with the Africa vision. Remember St. John with the slave rebellion. General Butler said emancipation. That's why the place nice, so nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas nice, so nice, so nice. St. Cry full of pure vibes, so nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise, so nice, so nice. Hey, we got so much to prove, yet so much to lose. Virgin Island teachers never rise no fool. Mama sent me school. Yeah. St. Crown produce the band midnight. And them the kind of roots make the fire ignite, yo. Juliet Jackson was a champion in the ring. I know him treat son, them a do the same thing, yeah. Tim Duncan come from the VI, one of the greatest and the world can see why, yeah. If you ever ask me where I'm from, born in the Virgin Island and the whole place nice, so nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas nice, so nice, so nice. St. Cry full of pure vibes, so nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise, so nice, so nice. The Virgin Islands nice, so nice, so nice. Rock City sweet and nice, so nice, so nice. Twin City full of pure vibes, so nice, so nice. Love City a real paradise, so nice, so nice. Hey, I'm so proud to be from the VI, a place of
I'm gonna have to let you know soon and very soon, yeah. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. The most wonderful thing happened to me today. Oh, I met this one woman. Every man's waiting a lifetime to meet. She gave me vibes, cut me right down to size. Soon she'll be sharing the comfort of under my sheet. But it's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. Humble is not the word. It's more one of a kind. Rarest in my time. And the treasure that the very few men find. You're the missing link. Put me right back in sync. Soon you'll be sharing the comfort of only my sheep. But it's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. No. When you're not in competition, yeah. What will be yours is gonna be yours, yeah. Thanking your father
each other, the mood was right. Strolling under the moonlight, hoping that we could get out of sight. And while the entertainer's singing his song, I hold a feeling oh so strong. Never thought love would look me in the eyes. I lift my head, oh what a big surprise. But there are people all around who try to take her love from me. No, 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 they don't seem to realize this love was meant to be. Only your love can set me free. I think I won the prize. From the very first time I looked in your eyes, I knew love would last forever. It's a blessing to be with someone like you. Now the ladies realize I am no longer solo, got you by my side. And this new love I will treasure. I'll be faithful and true to the day I die. And when people criticize, we will hold on to love, just be our guide. And if I had to do it over, it would have to be you, girl. No one else to do, no, no. I can't let you go. Oh, no, 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 not forever. I can't let you walk out my life. No, 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 no. Ooh, no, baby. Now they can't understand how could she be in love with someone like me. But they don't seem to realize that this love was meant to be. Only your love can set me free. We were just strangers in the night, getting to know each other, the mood was right. Strolling under the moonlight, hoping that we could get out of sight. And while the entertainer's singing his song, I hold a feeling oh so strong. I never thought love would look me in the eyes. I lift my head, oh what a big surprise. I may have won the prize. From the very first time I looked in her eyes, I knew love. Would last forever. It's a blessing to be with someone like you. No, no, baby, can't let you go. Oh, no, 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 no. I can't let you walk out of my life. No, no, baby, can't let you go.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Good evening, everyone. Very good. One more time. Mic check. Good evening, everyone. All right. You ready to start the show? All right.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get seated, let's get seated.
All right. Next check. Mic check, mic check. We're ready to start the show. So we're ready to get seated, everyone? Beautiful, beautiful. You guys look amazing this evening.
I know you're a little cold, but you know, make sure you have the shawl on, your blazer, a little, you know, something, but we're gonna make it through, okay? So let's get started. Welcome to the Cultural Extravaganza celebration of 40 years of independence of our beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, put on by the Permanent Mission.
All right. We're going to pause for 1 second to get everyone acquainted and seated. All right, take two.
Take two. Try that again. Try that again. Okay.
All right. We are going to ask for everyone to be... We're going to ask for everybody to be seated as we start the show and to give us a bit of your attention. All right, mic check again. Good evening, everyone. All right, I need your attention. Yeah.
Okay, take three. Let's try that again. Okay, welcome to the cultural extravaganza in celebration of 40 years of independence of our beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, put on by the Mission.
All right, we are your MCs this evening, and the dynamic Yannick brand stands to my left.
Stands handsomely. Handsomely.
He is pretty handsome.
The paper
so-
says handsome.
All right, he stands handsomely to my left.
Thank you, Curlin. Wow, that was so sweet. And the radiant, elegant Curlin Williams stands to my right.
We are your MCs for this evening, tasked with keeping you entertained and navigating you through tonight's festivities.
This year's Independence theme is growing sustainably, developing maturely, building resiliency. Independence 40.
All right, it's been 40 years. Could you imagine the Federation is older than me?
Older than me? Older than
Older
us?
than us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
yeah.
However, our nation has been through so much in these 40 years, through visionary leadership, through sports, and through so much more.
I mean, with leadership, you definitely have to start with Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, for sure.
And our very own senior minister, the Right Honorable Denzil Llewellyn Douglas. And
Little
our
clap
very
there, little
own,
clap
yeah.
there.
No little claps? No claps for the DLD? Yeah? All right.
Quiet.
And now, we are pleased to say that we are governed by our very own, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, who is here this evening with us. All right. We're gonna kick off this evening with a cultural extravaganza filled with a lot of cultural acts, including Moko Jumbies, masquerades, dancers. We hope to bring the island of St. Kitts and Nevis here with us in New York. So I hope that you guys are excited, because we're surely excited to be here with you. But I wanted to share some stuff with you. Yannick?
What you got to say, Curlin?
All right, apparently back in the day, people used to be in all kind of bands, right? Mm-hmm. All right, anybody used to be in the Bata Troupe? No, anybody? All right, no Bata Troupe people. Anybody used to be in Stacey Hobson Troupe?
Yeah, we got a couple,
No, we got a couple. All right.
Miss Reynolds,
No,
anybody?
Miss Reynolds.
Miss Reynolds, okay.
No? All right. But I wish I was home, maybe them times, to get Euclid back a neck. Anybody used to go by Euclid for back a neck? All right.
Don't even study it. She don't even know how it is, honestly.
And I just started to eat back a neck the other day.
Thank you.
All right. But what about Utali black pudding? Anybody know about Utali black pudding? All right.
Okay, we got a couple.
Okay, we got a couple in the crowd. Seems like a couple of people.
They like them out.
All right. That one there was a little better. But I wish I was jamming down the road to Elimat and the GI Brass.
Well, with the little element, I mean, I want to do a little crowd check right now. So if the DJ can help me out, let's make sure everybody is awake.
All right.
So, with Elimat, there's one song that comes to mind for me when I think of Elimat, and it's a little song goes, Man gone, man young.
In your...
Let's try that one more time.
Yeah.
Wake up, oh, you know. Man gone, man young. Love to hear it.
All right. But I also wish that I was jamming down the road to Dynamics. Ain't it, Plum? Where he be? Plum, you want kick up the band so I could jam behind you? May see him. All right. So we're gonna kick off this cultural extravaganza with a dynamic group from Brooklyn called the Tropical Fete Group, who are going to present to us their Moko Jumbies, and we hope that you enjoy this wonderful performance.
Man gone, man young, in you Makasima. Man gone, man young, in you Makasima. You cannot continue if you never start. In you Makasima. Start from Scotland, you got your smile in your mother's email. They want what's in my head, they want to see me dead, but they can't do the color Ellie.
Bring 'em again, pink juice ladies. Sexy ladies, get ready, it's carnival. Let me go. I see sexy girls like Sam, jamming in the band, going crazy over the reading so. We had to bring a song to help them girls along, so they could put their bodies to and fro. Cause you can when the jamming starts, I jump with them as you just start my heart. You can't find the feeling, we had to give you this sexy rhythm to match your body carnival. Sugar man, yes, we are right again. This carnival's a true away your pride again. Dedicated for the ladies, them who see they want this sweet rhythm again. Sugar man, yes, we are right again. This carnival's a true away your pride again. Dedicated for the ladies, them who see they want this sweet rhythm again. Simple, ladies, get ready 'cause it's rhythm again. Hit him again, hit him again, my baby. Hit him again, baby. Hit him again to make you walk up, 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 walk up. Hit him again, baby. Hit him again, my baby. Hit him again, baby. Hit him again to make you hook it up, yeah, 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 hook it up, yeah. So many girls like sun in the band and to the band. So many girls like sun in the sugar band, but can it I see girls up in the band, pull away from them and it was on from your ear, the rhythm. I see girls on the head, and if you see the spread, like butter on a nice hot piece of bread. Already when the jamming starts, before the last time you won't stop my heart, you can't find the feeling. When I try to give this sweet sexy rhythm to work your body carnival. Sugar man, yes, we are right again. This carnival's a true away your pride again. Dedicated for the ladies, them who see they want this sweet rhythm again. Sugar man, yes, we are right again. This carnival's a true away your pride again. Dedicated for the ladies, them who say they want this sweet rhythm again. This rhythm is dedicated to all the sexy ladies around the
Okay. Like, one more round of applause for the Moko Jumbies. There we go. Feeling outside again.
All right. So our next performer is no stranger to this stage. So Ilana, Plum's daughter, or Illy's Dance Clash, as she will be referred to as tonight. She will be joining us for a dance.
Okay. We're getting it together, typical Singits people, how we go. Think we're getting ready. Okay, everybody's coming in. Let's find our seats, please. Let's find our seats. It's a little cold. Jeez.
can cook. More places to see than you read in a book. If you're ready for a good time, let the good vibes steal your heart like a cook. But look, don't trouble or you'll get shook. Take it sweet, you'll get hooked. Every other trip that you take won't compare to the Sankage trip that you took. Me don't know about you, but me love sink is bad. Me don't know what them a talk about. When them say sink it's mad. When everywhere in the world have problem, everywhere need God. Tell them easy no man. From you love sink it's bad. So much good people to meet. Me hear the word on the street is everybody a sing out. Say sink it's sweet. So much good people to meet. The word on the street is everybody a sing out. Say sink it's sweet. Me don't know about you, but me love sink it's bad. Me don't know what them a talk about. When them say sink it's mad. When everywhere in the world have problem, everywhere need God. Tell them easy no man. From your love sink it's bad. Me don't know about you, but me love sink it's bad. Me don't know what them a talk about. When them say sink it's mad. When everywhere in the world have problem, everywhere need God. Tell them easy no man. From your love sink it's bad.
Everybody talking about their country and how their native land is the best, but never ever let no foreigner fool me. Some of them island is in a mess, but when you talk about democracy, peace and tranquility, not one of them islands could compete with we. I'm proud of my native land. I'm proud to be Nevis, and I cannot boast for no confusion. And every time I walk the streets of Queen City, I see more Trini and Guyanese. Well, I never thought I would live to see foreigners migrate to my country. God bless our country, bless our native land. Grant us the courage
Okay. We had a bit of technical difficulties, but nevertheless, we're here to have a good time, right? Yes?
Yes, we're back on track now. Let's get on our seats.
All right. Okay, so the next act this evening. All right. We're going to do another mic check. Everybody with me? Good evening, everyone. Okay. So the next cultural act this evening will be our own Lenbo Masquerade. And we're going to put your hands together for the masqueraders as they enter.
One another. Think it. I belong this. Lower me, balance me up nice. Now talk to me people. We come from far. We drive from Rhode Island. Reach right just up to entertain you. Blessed love to that. But you what? You see the session here, sir? It's free. You see the bar? It's free. You see the dancing? A lot of energy. Period. More money, more dancing. Oh, me so. Come on, Nevis. Come on, sing it. Support us. Play a tune.
All right. A round of applause for Lenbo Masquerade. Very good, very good. As we continue the program, we'd like to welcome our beautiful models as they display our cultural wear of St. Kitts and Nevis. We're going to ask for everyone to have a seat. Okay, are we ready for the models? DJ. All right. We have one public service announcement. Everyone, I need your attention. We have one public service announcement. If everyone can please take their seats. You guys look amazing, but we would like to continue the program. Hello? All right. I'm going to ask again for everyone to please have a seat as we continue the program. All right. We're going to welcome next on the stage a presentation of the national dress of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Gracia en español.
I went down to Santo Domingo and I bounced up on this fine looking chick. Let me tell you something, amigo. I never seen no thing so sweet. After dancing all night in a disco, next morning we end up in bed. I couldn't understand what she tell me, but these are the words that she said. Me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta. Por favor, mi amor, me gusta. Especialmente cuando tú dame la cosa muy grande. Especialmente cuando como nunca lo he tenido en mi vida. This woman had here too, she bumpsy, and legs that were big and strong. I tell myself that I was lucky, so I sleep on she all night long. Now and then she would whisper, as if she was feeling pain, but suddenly she would kiss me and start me the same words again. Me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta. Por favor, mi amor, me gusta, especialmente cuando
Ladies and gentlemen, let us settle down, please, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to introduce our national dress, ladies and gentlemen. And because it's been 40 years of independence, it does not mean that we can forget how far we have come. Tonight, Teresia Pete and her son, Kamari, will showcase for us the beauty of our national dress and menswear. Cast your eyes to the center of the stage and welcome them as they come. Give them a hand, please. For our women's wear, Teresia adorns a plaid head wrap called a madras. Not only is it fashion chic, as it picks up the colors in the matching madras of her apron, but the head wrap could be used as protection for her head. When positioned correctly, that head wrap could put her basket atop it, and she could walk for miles looking fashionable. A popular, skillful sight to behold was that sometimes a woman wore put stalks of sugarcane atop their head, and you could see them walking for miles with our mouth-watering, juicy sugarcane perfectly tied and wrapped atop her head with dried leaves of the cane. The main top of the dress is off-white in color to keep her cool during the hot days. The top of the dress has puff sleeves that is tied neatly around her arms with the same plaid as what is used on her head, creating the cutest little frills along her arms. As she turns, you will notice the corset fastening in the back that accentuates her lovely figure. An ankle-length skirt glides across her feet as she sashays across the floor tonight for your viewing pleasure. The shorter lap skirt made of crocus is worn over the main dress to protect it from being soiled or dirty. The madras draped over the crocus is draped across her hips and tied at the waist. This was used to hold the fertilizer that she would easily cast at the root of her sugarcane. Her crocus drawstring bag was an accessory for her to keep her personal belongings. Now let's talk a little bit about our menswear. For the menswear, it would be typically worn with a hat, trimmed with madras. But tonight he's showcasing the short-sleeved V-neck jack shirt that is made from the same off-white cotton as the dress. The madras goes around the neck and onto the V shape of the shirt and adds a bit of flair and personality to an otherwise plain shirt. The pockets are lined with that same madras. For putting things in his pocket, it could easily keep it from getting dirty. This jack shirt is similar design to the traditional shirts worn by the African men. The beige cotton ankle-length pant is a reflection of the local fabric that we wore commonly during the colonial period. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come a long, long way. From the sugar plantation to our independence, to cultivating our very own sugarcane for our own personal benefit and not for others, to moving with the times into tourism, to a government that keeps our currency strong and our passport even stronger. SKN and Nevis has come a long, long way with much more advancements to come. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a hand again for modeling our national wear.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Clytia. Thank you so much, Clytia, for that great introduction. And Carisia and your son, it's a pleasure to have you.
Okay, so moving on, we're gonna have Ilana's dance clash, which is gonna grace us with a dance. Illy's dance clash, you are up.
No place that has been good
All right, so let's give it up for Ilana one more time. Illy's Dance Clash. Put your hands together for Illy one more time. And Illy closes out our cultural extravaganza. So we're moving on into the main crux of the evening. So just as a reminder, we are your MCs. My name is Kerlin Williams.
And my name is Yannick Brand. And we are here to entertain you tonight. So a little bit of housekeeping. Let's make sure our phones are on silent, please.
All right, and everyone is seated. We are starting the program. And just as a reminder, we are being streamed live, so everyone can see you. So I'd like everyone to be seated. You guys look amazing, but we really need to start the program. All right, we're waiting for everyone to be seated before we start the amazing program that we have ready for you this evening. And we need a bit of silence. All right, everyone, can I have your attention, please? We're not going to start until everyone is seated and until we have some level of silence. All right, y'all are getting better. Okay, all right. A bit more of silence. All right.
I think we're ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the dignitaries of the evening. And I'd like some music, please, as we welcome them. And dimming up the lights, please.
So we'll have your attention to the center of the ballroom.
Yes. You can take out your phones. All
Get a little
right.
video going.
All right. I want you to put your hands together for the dignitaries of the evening. The Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew. The Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ital. The Honorable Senator Dr. Joyel Clark, Minister of Environment, Ital.
Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin of St. Kitts and Nevis, Ambassador to the United States of America. Her Excellency Nerese Shiverton Dockery, St. Kitts and Nevis Permanent Representative to United Nations.
Put your hands together for our dignitaries, everyone. A little bit louder than
louder,
that.
louder, louder.
Come on.
Look at that. Oh, it's revolving. Okay.
What an entrance, right? What an entrance? All right.
Take out your flag.
Have a round of applause. Have a round of applause.
And show your honor. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Oh, land of beauty now. Take the oath, boy. Take the oath, boy. Take the oath, boy. Take the oath. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. I wanna see you take the oath. I said I'm fed up of all the senseless crime in my country, Lord, I'm fed up of all the guns and gangs in my country, So, for this carnival, I wanna see you raise your hand up to the sky. It's time to take a note, so that no more young souls will die. Now in this world,
Thank
we
you
have
so
to
much,
tell you
everyone.
always put country first. And in this world, for love no little boy or girl shall ever go. Now everybody take the oath. I wanna see you take the oath. Yes, everybody take the oath. Every
All right,
man and woman,
everyone.
let me see you raise your hand and let we take the oath. Take the oath, boy. Take the oath. Take the oath.
All right, amazing entrance, but we'd like to keep the program moving, please. So everyone, please move back to your seats as we continue the program. All right, please remain standing for those of you that are standing. And for those of you that are not standing, please stand with us as we prepare to sing the national anthem. But before we do so, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Miss Idris Lewis, who we will ask to join the dignitaries on the right of the room. And for those of you who are unaware, Miss Idris Lewis is the designer of our beautiful flag of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I'd like you to
Let's
put
have a
your
round of
hands
applause for
together
her, please.
for her
Let's have
today,
a round of
please.
applause.
Amazing. All right, as we prepare to sing the national anthem, again, I ask for everyone to stand.
For the Lamb
All right, please remain standing as we continue the program by inviting Pastor Teresa Millard to the podium.
Oh, land of beauty, our country where peace abounds, thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with golden old schools, Saint Kitts and a nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth we will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity
All right, as we continue standing, I'd like to invite Pastor Teresa Millard to the podium for the invocation.
Good night, everyone. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for just being here with us for this celebration. And I've just been observing and watching how your people have celebrated that 40 years of independence. And it's just a beautiful thing. I pray, Father, for the island and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I pray for those that are near and those that are physically living there and those that are here. And we pray, Father, that you will have a blessing upon every person. I pray, Father, for the leadership of the land. Lord, you know everything that's going on. You know what plans are being made. You know how they're trying to bring everyone together. And God, sometimes as leaders it's very difficult. But I pray, Father, that you will, Lord, you would guide the leadership, you would guide the people, and God, that you will present a blessing upon every person, both islands. And I pray, Father, that you will just allow us to enjoy tonight and celebrate being free. Amen.
Everyone can take their seats, please. Feel free to take your seats. Dinner is being served. Take your seats, take your seats. Okay, while everyone is getting their dinners being served, we will have the intro to the U.S. Ambassador, and that will be done by Her Excellency Nevis Shiverton Dockery, the St. Kitts and Nevis Permanent Representative to the United Nations. Miss Nevis Dockery.
Next on stage, we would like to introduce Her Excellency Nevis Shiverton Dockery, the St. Kitts and Nevis Permanent Representative to the United Nations, as she introduces the Ambassador of the U.S.
Found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Oh, friend, why are you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me. I think I'll remember you say sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. You know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a sun. Glory days. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me. I think I'll remember you say sometimes
Good night, good night, good night. Good evening, citizens. Good evening, special guests.
nothing compares, no worries or cares, regrets and mistakes, their memories made. Who would have known how bittersweet this would taste? Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget me.
The Honorable Dr. Terence Michael Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. The right, His Excellency Dennis Francis and his spouse, Miss Joy Thomas Francis, our Honorable Ambassador, also permanent representative of Trinidad and Tobago, is also the sitting President of the United Nations General Assembly. The Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Senior Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, et al. Of St. Kitts and Nevis. Senator the Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, Minister of Sustainable Development, Climate Action and Environment. Her Excellency Jacinth Lorna Henry Martin, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United Nations. His Excellency James Lee, Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office, His Excellency Walford Gums, Ambassador at Large of St. Kitts and Nevis, Ms. Michelle Lightfoot, Consul General of Antigua and Barbuda, Ms. Vanessa Gibson, Bronx Borough President, Mrs. Dorcel Clark, Bronx District Attorney, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I see distinction in the room. It is indeed an honor to welcome you to this Grand Gala and Cultural Infusion Extravaganza to celebrate the 40th Independence Anniversary of St. Kitts and Nevis. It is indeed a pleasure to be able to celebrate such a momentous occasion with each and every one of you tonight. When I look across the sea of faces, I am humbled by your obvious support for our federation and that of its people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis, today we celebrate St. Kitts and Nevis. Please stand and join me in a rousing round of applause for our nation, which defied all the odds when we embarked on this improbable journey, overcoming every obstacle that tried to stand in our way, and surmounting every global crisis and climatic crisis. Let us clap for our ancestors. Let us clap for ourselves. And let us thank God Almighty for His enduring grace and mercy. Today we celebrate the ruby anniversary, you may be seated, of St. Kitts and Nevis. We are all aware of the significance of this beautiful jewel throughout history. It is a rare gem, and it was thought that if worn, would guarantee health, wealth, wisdom, success, and love. If there was ever a wish that I am sure that all of us sitting here are wishing in this moment for our great federation, it is indeed the continued health and enhanced well-being of all our people, resilient prosperity and wealth in all its dimensions, in all of our individual and national endeavors, wisdom as we make every effort to manifest our stated and written vision to transform into a sustainable island state by 2040. Success in all that we put our minds to and hearts to for every man, woman, and child. And an abundance of love, brotherly love, sisterly love, and sincere goodwill towards each other. Tonight, we unite under the theme, growing sustainably, developing maturely, building resiliency, Independence 40. Ladies and gentlemen, the age of 40 in any living capacity is typically one that heralds the dawn of a new age of psychological maturity. With respect to a country, key things can be expected from a nation upon the attainment of 40 years of sovereignty. It is expected that we are in solid command of our growth and development, both the development of our human capital and our infrastructure. Although as a nation, we are not expected to be 100% self-sustaining, it is expected for us to work towards the continued advancement of our capabilities, particularly those aimed at moving us closer to becoming a sustainable island state. 40 years of sovereignty is an indication that we are able to maintain ourselves as a nation. If we are able to maintain, we will be able to grow. And with our continued growth, we will be able to strengthen our partnerships and deepen our alliances, especially here at the United Nations. As we grow, we become even more aware that even as we strive to realize and manifest all the fruits of meaningful independence, that interdependence is the highest expression of human interaction. That is the principle upon which the United Nations was founded. Strength through working together is what we learned when we were chained together at the bottom of the slave ships that carried us to new and unfamiliar shores, and that inspired a movement to rise up and fight for our social, political, and economic well-being as a people and society, and which set us on the path to decolonization and interdependence, where with very little we were able to build national institutions that have survived the test of time and still stand today. It is this principle that we are all in this together that has inspired us to build fraternal and enduring bonds with our neighbors in the Caribbean community, and informs our worldview and internationalism as a Caribbean civilization. It is this principle that will allow us to protect our environment and our planet and secure a bright and prosperous future for our future generations filled with limitless possibility. So tonight, I welcome you. It is not my duty to deliver the opening remarks. I ceded that honor to a woman who needs no introduction, really. A woman of great substance and accomplishment. A woman who fills every room with her brilliant smile and effervescence. A woman who understands service and sacrifice to country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud and pleased to introduce none other than the indomitable and distinguished daughter of our soil, Her Excellency, Jacinth Lorna Henry Martin. Prior to her election to the Federal Parliament of St. Kitts and Nevis in 2000, Jacinth Henry Martin was Director of Culture and Parliamentary Secretary for Culture. She was Minister of Information, Culture, Youth, and Sports when St. Kitts and Nevis hosted the overwhelmingly successful 7th Caribbean Festival of Art, or CariFesta 7, and won the coveted bid to share hosting of the Games in the 2007 Cricket World Cup. She was subsequently named to high-level representational roles in the United Kingdom and in the United States of America before being appointed as St. Kitts and Nevis's first female ambassador to the United States in 2011, serving in the dual role of prominent representative to the Organization of American States, or OAS. Then she subsequently also ran concurrent as non-resident ambassador to Mexico and Paraguay. She served briefly as Chief of Staff of the Secretary General of the OAS before being appointed in 2016 as advisor to the Assistant Secretary General of the OAS, with concurrent responsibility for coordinating the 28 offices of the OAS General Secretariat across the Americas. In July 2023, she returned to the service of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis as ambassador to the USA, with concurrent appointment as permanent representative to the OAS. She is the recipient of many accolades and awards, recognizing her contribution to the social advancement of the people of her country. She holds a Master of Arts in Technical and Specialized Translation from the University of Westminster in the United Kingdom and is fluent in 3 languages. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please join me in a round of applause as we welcome Her Excellency Jacinth Henry Martin, our newly appointed ambassador to the United States.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis, friends of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Please permit me to adopt the protocol that has been established by Her Excellency Nevis Dockery, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United Nations. But of course, there are persons here who I would like to salute with a special mention. Of course, I want to salute the distinguished Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Terence M. Drew. I also want to salute the distinguished Minister of Foreign Affairs of St. Kitts and Nevis. With similar recognition, I greet the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil L. Douglas. Esteemed and very distinguished guests of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and most especially tonight, I salute every single national of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis gathered here this evening, and also those who could not join us. Please let us put our hands together for the proud nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, celebrating 40 years of growth and development, not only of the country, but of the people, very importantly so. It is my duty as we gather here to celebrate this significant milestone in history of our beloved nation to bid you a warm welcome. I am filled with immense pride and gratitude in doing so. While some may say that comparatively 40 years represent just a brief span of 4 decades, with many others to traverse, September 19th, 2023 reminded us of the remarkable journey we have undertaken as a nation and of the profound contributions of our people, both here in St. Kitts and in the United States of America, the adopted home of many of our citizens in the global diaspora. We celebrate this signal marker in our quest for self-sufficiency, to be self-sustaining, sovereign, and independent that took place 40 years ago. This momentous occasion is not merely a marker of time, but a testament to the enduring spirit of our people and the remarkable journey we have undertaken together. And we are living our theme for this celebration, growing sustainably, developing maturely, building resiliency, independence 40. We reflect on the past 4 decades over which we have been witnesses to noteworthy growth and development. We have transitioned from a colonial past to a sovereign nation, and our accomplishments along this journey stand as a testament to the enduring spirit of the people and the unceasing blessings of the Almighty that have covered us and propelled us every step of the way. We recognize the advancements, we salute those national heroes and the ordinary man and woman across social strata, public and private sectors, grassroots organizations, individual and collective will, whose commitment, dedication, and can-do spirit overcame unspeakable odds, defied relentless challenges, and endured to today's milestone anniversary. I am particularly pleased to show my respect on your behalf, nationals and friends, to the designer of the national flag, Lady Idris Lewis, and the writer of the national anthem, our dear departed Kenrick Georges. We recognize as well, our successes notwithstanding, that there is still much work to be done. Let us never tire in well-doing. Let us face forward with determination on the path of peace and progress. There are new horizons to be attained, new technologies to be mastered as we aim to make life easier for our people, new opportunities to forge in education, in security, in agriculture, in industry, in tourism, a new generation upon whom to impress that the future is theirs. There is a role for all of us, a new land that we are carving daily, every step of the way. And let us remember that together, always, we are better and more capable, stronger and more resilient when we understand that when all is said and done, we are one people in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I welcome you to tonight's Independence Gala and Cultural Extravaganza. I want, before I close, to say to everyone in my capacity of Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United States of America that the embassy is putting on October the 6th, a black tie gala in which we are proud to say that the patronage of the Honorable Prime Minister will be the marker of the night. And so I want to extend a very warm invitation to all nationals to come to Washington, D.C. on October the 6th to celebrate once again the 40th anniversary of St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to also declare tonight the commitment of the embassy and my commitment as ambassador to put on a coach that will take nationals from New York to Washington, D.C. and back once the ticket has been purchased. Our event is a paid event, but we are delighted to offer return travel by coach from New York to Washington, D.C. and back on October the 6th. If you are interested, please signal to Keith Harris, who is at the permanent mission of St. Kitts and Nevis to the UN here in New York. We would be happy to welcome you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I thank you for your presence here this evening. I applaud you for your contribution, even from afar, to the land of your birth. And I say to you that we should be justly proud as nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis that having attained 40 strong years of independence, that the future is even brighter. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador Henry Martin. I hope everyone's having a good time. We're enjoying the dinner? Okay, so moving on, we're going to now welcome the Honorable Senator Dr. Joyelle Clark, Minister of Environment et al., followed by the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs et al. So we're going to have the ministers welcome now.
Good evening, everyone.
all protocols established and adopted. May I start by reminding us of how good it feels to be from St. Kitts and Nevis. And if you feel good, please let's give ourselves a round of applause, because being Kittitian and Nevisian is an honor, isn't it? It is a good feeling to celebrate 40 years and to be part of the smallest independent nation in the Western Hemisphere. We are very small, but everything is possible because we are one. I asked just shortly if we had a number of how many Kittitians and Nevisians actually live in New York. Does anyone have a number? Does anyone know how many of us are actually here in New York City? We are numerous. We are one family. And it feels very good to always come during our September independence celebration to be with family in the diaspora. So thank you, happy independence, and happy 40th.
You notice I haven't gotten any taller. Tonight, I'm very, very pleased to be here on what I consider to be a special occasion. And having the protocol established before me permit me to adopt it. But of course, I must recognize the tremendous applause of our distinguished Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Drew. Give him his applause, please. And the other distinguished persons who are here, we thank you for gracing us with your presence. We want to advise very strongly that St. Kitts and Nevis, having only arrived at age 40, must be able to live and strive and develop for another 40 years and beyond. But we cannot achieve that unless the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, those who are at home, and those of you who are here in the diaspora, play your part. And that is why we are here with you tonight. We want to emphasize that we as a government in St. Kitts and Nevis, we as a people could never ever do without you. You are our ambassadors in your own right. You are our foretellers. You anticipate what is going to happen, and you express it every single time with your support. Only 1 year ago, many of you returned home and participated in an exercise that brought this administration into office. And for this, we are eternally grateful. Continue to strive. Play your part. We are depending upon you. Those of you who are permanently resident here, continue to grow and progress. Those of us who are students here, we ask you to acquire the necessary knowledge and skills that are going to be important in building a better and stronger St. Kitts and Nevis. I end by asking you, with your glasses, I hope you have something in them, to give 3 cheers to our nation. Hip hip! Hip hip hip! Hip hip hip! God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, that was a hard act to follow. The 10-man-in-1 himself. Moving right along, we're going to now welcome Abena Amri, the soulful songstress, who is now going to regale us in song. Abena Amri.
Good evening, everyone. This song I'm going to be dedicating to our leaders. I know sometimes it gets lonely at the top. You have a lot that you're dealing with. But this song, I hope, it's for you. So. When you've done all you can, and it seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when your friends turn away and you're all alone? Tell me, what do you give when you've given your all? Get through. Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand. Watch the Lord see you through. After you've done all you can, you just stand. Tell me, how do you handle the guilt of your past? Tell me, how do you deal with the shame? And how can you smile You're broken down and tired. Seems like on a merry-go-round, you can't find a fighter. I see it in you. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And we'll rise up, rise like the day. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up high like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other. Yes, for that we have each other. Yeah, we will rise. We will rise. We'll rise. We'll rise up. Rise like the day. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. We will rise. We will rise. We'll rise. We'll rise up. Thank you.
The amazing songbird, Miss Abina Amory. Put your hands together one more time for Abina. As we continue on this program, we'd like to welcome His Excellency Ambassador James Lee to the podium as he presents a tribute by the Republic of China on Taiwan. And just as a reminder to everyone, we're actually also celebrating 40 by 40 as the Republic of China and Taiwan was the first to establish diplomatic relations with St. Kitts and Nevis as a new country. So please put your hands together as well for the Republic of China and Taiwan.
Can I hear? Yeah, it's in. It's on. Huh? So, Excellency Prime Minister Dr. DeRoot, Honorable Foreign Minister Douglas, and Honorable Senator Dr. Clark, and Ambassador Henry Martin, and Ambassador Dockery, President Francis of the United Nations Assembly, distinguished guests, dear friends, good evening and happy birthday to the St. Kitts and Nevis. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to attend this auspicious occasion in commemoration of the 40th anniversary of the independence of your great country. On behalf of the government and people of Taiwan, I would like to extend our heartfelt felicitation to our brothers and sisters of St. Kitts and Nevis. This year also marks the 40th anniversary of diplomatic tie between St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan. As we celebrate this significant milestone in our relationship, I assure you that Taiwan will continue to be your reliable and trustworthy partners for progress and prosperity. Thank you for having me with you tonight to witness this historic moment, and I wish you all good health and continued success. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As we continue the program, we'd like to also introduce another cultural presentation and a gift to the island of St. Kitts and Nevis from the Republic of China and Taiwan. And put your hands together as we introduce the performers from Taiwan called Islanders. Put your hands together for the Islanders.
是在哪里？日子过得怎么样？人生是否要珍惜？也许认识某一人，过着平凡的日子，会不会也有过去爱情甜如蜜？任时光匆匆过去，我只在乎你。心甘情愿感染你的气息，人生几何能够得到知己？失去生命的力量也不可惜，所以我求求你，别让我离开你，除了你我不能感到一丝丝情意。也许有那么一天，你说即将要离去，我会迷失我自己，走入无边人海里，不需要什么诺言，只要天天在一起。我们会不会靠着回忆活下去？任时光匆匆过去，我只在乎你，心甘情愿感染你的气息。人生几何能够得到知己？失去生命的力量也不可惜，所以我求求你，别让我离开你，除了你我不能感到一丝丝情意。Good evening, everyone. Do you guys have a good time so far? Hello, hello. We are islanders from Taiwan. So islanders are a group of people, and we are all Taiwanese artists, including musicians, dancers, actors, composer, filmmaker, etc. And tonight, we mostly use Taiwanese folk songs and we rearrange it into a modern version, like a hip hop or jazz version.
and we want to try to bring the traditional elements into modern pieces, and also we want to share our culture to American audiences. And since we are from Taiwan, we want to do a little bit culture exchange. We want to teach you a few Taiwanese greetings. Are you interested? Okay, so the first thing we want to teach you how to say hello in Taiwanese is Li Heng. Amazing, you guys sounds already like Taiwanese. Okay, and the next thing is Jia Ba Bui. Yes, do you know what does that mean? It means, have you eaten yet? So, in Taiwan, we don't ask how are you. We like to know if you are full. Like we really care about, we don't want you to be hungry. So we care about if you're full. So can we say that one more time to your neighbor? Say, Jia Pa Bui. Yes, everyone eaten? Have you eaten? Yes. The last thing we want to teach you is, 我爱你. Yes, it means I love you. Yes, shares more love. So look at your neighbors, your strangers, your family, friends next to you and say, 我爱你. Okay, nice job. You guys can move to Taiwan. Oh, thank you. And next piece, our next piece. So we want to share another piece. It's a Taiwanese song. So let's have music. Okay, I want to bring a little bit local style for this number. Okay, ready?
Cùng quân
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and wish St. Kitts Nevis happy 40th anniversary independence. All right, okay, and also it's an honor to perform here for Prime Minister Terrence Cruz, and also thanks for Ambassador Nevis for having us, and thank you for being a nice audience. Have a good evening.
Let's put your hands together again for Islanders. Compliments of the Republic of China on Taiwan. Great. All right, we're entering the awards presentation of tonight's agenda. Everyone, one moment, please. All right. Okay, we're entering the awards ceremony. At this time, we will have 3 awardees this evening, 3 distinguished awardees in the name of Professor Carol Phillips, Miss Dr. Andrea Douglas, and Miss Phoenicia Brown. Put your hands together for the awardees for this evening.
So now we would like to invite Her Excellency the Ambassador Nevis Dockery to give a few words, please.
Good evening, good evening. Are we having a good time? Are we having a good time fellowshipping with each other? Now, I just want to give a little background to these awards ceremonies. The St. Kitts Nevis administration has embarked on a journey to institutionalize diaspora relations. And part of that policy is to begin to give due recognition to persons living in the diaspora who are making a contribution either locally in St. Kitts and Nevis or in their adopted countries. So tonight's event is actually the launch of the Diaspora Awards with the award of the honoring of 3 persons. However, the award ceremony is intended to become its own event as we progress into the future. And so with that, we are honored this evening to give due recognition to 3 nationals who we believe, as a committee of their fellow compatriots, are long overdue in terms of receiving a national recognition. So I'd like to invite our Honorable Prime Minister and Her Excellency Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin to assist me. If you could stand on this side, center stage, please, next to each other. Our first honoree is Professor Carol Phillips. And we will now play an introductory video that will give you a taste of his contributions to country. Turn your attention to the screens, ladies and gentlemen.
Much can be said about human talent. It is a thing of beauty,
a phenomenon the observation of which quite often precedes the welling of warm human emotions. When set in motion, human talent in any context reminds us that there is order embedded within the chaos of human existence. There is human talent, and then there is raw human talent. The existence of raw human talent is willful, unapologetic, untamed. It is a reality of its own, deliberately existing with ease alongside the honed practice, pristinely polished human talent that is socially encouraged and celebrated. Raw human talent boldly calls beautiful what has been cast aside as ugly. It gives the rose sprung from concrete the same kindness as that which was nurtured from seed to bloom. Carol Phillips is one of the most admirable examples of raw human talent that our Federation has ever produced. Born in St. Kitts in 1958, he had the opportunity to experience life first in St. Kitts and then in England, two countries painstakingly unlike then and now. He gave the gift of literary immortality to the socio-cultural juxtaposition and shared it unabashedly with the world. With a career stretching beyond 4 decades and a library collection of honorary degrees, Phillips's every step has created a recipe book for success that, when printed, sprawls calmly across 12 pages like a well-pampered Maine Coon. Phillips's choice to use his formal education to package the ugly Afro-Caribbean upbringing and present it to a world filled with the consumers of the pretty is the perfect example of the willful, fearless nature of a raw human talent. There is no perversion by conversion in his literary words. They speak a truth, multi-situational, unbeveled, every word brazenly penned against white paper, every piece published in spite of the bauble-brimmed bastardization of beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in resounding applause as Professor Phillips accepts the Prime Minister's Legacy Award for Leadership and Excellence in the Literary Arts.
Give a round of applause as we call the relative of Professor Carol Phillips to the front, and we invite the Honorable Prime Minister and the Ambassador back to center stage.
We're going to ask that we lower the volume, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask for you to have a seat, and let's just lower the volume as we have the presentation of the awards.
I would like to call the aunt of Mr. Professor Carol Phillips, please, to the podium. Are you in the room? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hello?
These words are from Kaz Phillips. I'm sorry that I cannot be here, but I am happy to receive an award, and I accept it on behalf of all members of the family who live in the US, Canada, or Britain, but whose hearts still reside in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you.
Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Professor Carib Phillip. It's the Legacy Award of Excellence in the Literary Arts. Thank you. Our next honoree this evening is a woman like no other, a woman of substance, Dr. Andrea Douglas. So please again turn your attention to the screens as we play her introductory video. Douglas, MD, FAANS, FACS, is the Stanford Health Chief of Neurosurgery and Co-Director of Neurosciences, as well as Co-Director of the HSS Spine Center with Stanford Health in Connecticut. She specializes in minimally invasive and complex spine surgery. Before joining Stanford Health in 2014, Dr. Douglas had a successful neurosurgical private practice in Greenwich. After spending 3 years as assistant professor of neurosurgery at Georgetown University Medical Center, Dr. Douglas relocated to Fairfield County in 2009. She graduated cum laude from Harvard and Radcliffe Colleges with a concentration in biochemistry, and completed medical school at Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons. She completed her neurosurgical training and specialty training in spine surgery at New York University Medical Center. Dr. Douglas balances her thriving medical career with her philanthropic commitment to improving children's access to educational opportunities both regionally and internationally. 16 years ago, she established the Andrea F. Douglas Scholarship Fund that provides school supplies to children in St. Kitts. She also works to encourage children from underrepresented groups and young girls to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. In this regard, she has partnered with middle schools in the tri-state region to introduce hands-on spine surgery technology to the classroom and mentored numerous young scholars in her practice. Dr. Douglas is the mother of a 6-year-old son, Ash, and lives with her family in Greenwich. In her spare time, she enjoys beekeeping and gardening. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in resounding applause.
Please put your hands
as
together
Dr.
for
Andrew
Dr.
Douglas
Andrea
accepts the
Douglas.
Prime Minister's Legacy
I now
Award.
invite the Prime Minister and Ambassador back to the podium. I would now invite her to just give a few words of thanks.
How's everybody feeling tonight? Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, ambassadors. I'll adopt the protocol already recognized by Ambassador Dockery tonight. Mr. Prime Minister, Ministers of Government, St. Kitts and Nevis, my dad, distinguished representatives of government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly overwhelmed with gratitude and humbled by the honor bestowed upon me this evening. It's with immense joy and a deep sense of pride that I stand before you as a Black woman neurosurgeon from St. Paul's, St. Kitts, receiving this prestigious award as a recognition of achieving excellence in science, technology, engineering, and math. First and foremost, I would love to express my heartfelt appreciation to the organizers of this event this evening, celebrating our country's 40th, and I'd love to wish a happy birthday to all my fellow nationals. Happy birthday. To my parents, my partner in all good and bad, Luis, my beautiful son, Ash, who's sleeping on his lap, my brother, Denzel, and my family and friends who have been my unwavering support system throughout this journey. Thank you for believing in me. Your love and your encouragement, the sacrifices that we've all made have been instrumental to my success. I'm forever indebted to all of you for standing by my side and cheering me on. To all the young girls and boys who are out there, especially those who are feeling underrepresented or overlooked, I would like you to know that your dreams are valid, no matter your background, your race, your gender. You have the potential to achieve greatness in all things. Embrace your uniqueness, believe in your abilities, and never let anyone define your limits. The world needs your brilliance, your creativity, and your perspective. I'd like to dedicate this award to all the trailblazers who came before me, like my mother, Black women who defied societal expectations, broke down barriers, and paved the way for future generations. Your resilience, courage, and determination have made this moment possible. I stand on your shoulders, and I promise to pay it forward by continuing to inspire, mentor, and support those who will follow in our footsteps. My deepest gratitude I once again extend to everyone here tonight. Thank you. Happy 40th.
Put your hands together as she walks away with the Woman of Excellence in Science Award. And I invite her doting and proud father. And he gets to place it back into her hands. You can. So moving right along, we are now going to present the next award, which is the Youth Excellence Award in Sports to Miss Phoenicia Brown. So again, please turn your attention to the introductory video.
Phoenicia was born
if we can just quiet down just a little so we can all hear the videos.
Today Brown and the late Andrea Charles Brown. She grew up in Lodge Project, St. Kitts, and attended Mrs. Slack's preschool and the St. Teresa's Convent School, now ICCS, where her athletic journey began. Phoenicia played any sport she could get her hands on, including basketball, tennis, and track and field. She migrated to the United States with her family at the age of 7 and settled in Piscataway, New Jersey. It was there Phoenicia discovered her love of football. She attended the Piscataway public schools from elementary to middle school before enrolling in high school at Rutgers Preparatory School. She excelled both academically and athletically, earning awards including the Somerset County Scholar Athlete Award, FC Copa's Outstanding Senior and Future Ambassador Award, RPS's Girls Soccer MVP and Coaches Awards. Added to these accolades are the many state and county championships she won with her soccer and basketball teams. She also competed in softball, lacrosse, track and field, and other sporting activities with the neighborhood boys. Phoenicia and her family spent every other summer at home in beautiful St. Kitts and Nevis to stay close to family. During the summer of 2009, she was granted the opportunity to train with the women's national football team, thereby jump-starting her St. Kitts Nevis football career. At the age of 15, Phoenicia officially began playing with the under-20 and senior women's national teams, following in the footsteps of her grandfather, Letsom Dublin, who was a goalkeeper for the men's national team, and her father, who captained the Lodge Patriots during his days in football. During her tenure as team captain, from 2018 to 2021, Phoenicia successfully led the team to the CONCACAF Olympic Qualifying Championship for the very first time, after defeating Trinidad and Tobago to top the group and rally on to the final round. From 2011 to 2015, Phoenicia attended Columbia University in New York City and earned her Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering with a minor in architecture, while competing with the women's soccer team as a Division I student athlete. In 2016, she attended the University of Texas at Austin, where she completed her Master's of Science in Civil Engineering, concluding her collegiate soccer career with the Texas Longhorns. After graduation, Phoenicia worked as an assistant women's soccer coach at the University of St. Elizabeth before switching careers and applying her degrees as an assistant engineer at Turner Construction in New York City. After a few months at Turner, Phoenicia decided she was not done with football and took an opportunity to play professionally for UMF Sindri in Iceland. This decision paid off, as in her first season, she was selected in the 2017 Deal Venner Team of the Year. earned a Player of the Year nomination and was second in the league in goals scored. Phoenicia moved on to play in France at Croix de Savoie, Romania, Finland, Iceland, and Germany. She is now back in France, playing with AS Saint-Étienne for a second season. She will compete in the French D1 Arkema this season after leading the league in assists and winning the French Division 2 championship in 2022 to 2023. Phoenicia founded Play More, Live Better, recruiting services in 2019 with the mission of guiding student athletes in the Caribbean through the process of becoming student athletes at colleges and universities abroad. Phoenicia also founded the MPWR Girls Football Camp alongside her St. Kitts Nevis teammate, Brittany Lawrence. MPWR aims to introduce young girls in St. Kitts and Nevis to football in a fun and challenging environment. The first edition took place in July 2022, and it has run successfully for 2 consecutive years. Phoenicia dedicates this award to her late mother, Andrea Charles Brown, who proudly carried the St. Kitts and Nevis flag around the world as a SKN diplomat of the United Nations and also as a national athlete competing in cricket, netball, and track and field. Phoenicia endeavors to continue her mother's legacy by following in her footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in resounding
Please
applause
put your hands
as Miss
together
Phoenicia
for
Brown
Phoenicia
accepts
Brown.
the Prime Minister's
Awesome, awesome, awesome example of youth excellence in sports. I don't think we can get any bigger than that. And I welcome her lovely sister to accept, and grandmother, to accept the award on her behalf. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and I believe there's a thank you video because unfortunately Phoenicia is actually, I believe, in Costa Rica, playing with our national women's soccer team. And so we will turn our attention again to the screens. Thank you. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we will not be able to play that video. I don't know if her family would like to say just a quick word.
Thank you. Since we're having some technical difficulties, I will say a very short note on behalf of my younger sister, Phoenicia. So, of course, she was not expecting at all to be receiving such an honor. When my dad and us, her siblings, gave her a call, she was speechless, literally didn't say anything for a little bit. But now that she's given it some time to let it sink in, she is very honored to be receiving the Youth Excellence Award, even more as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of our Federation's independence. And for our family, of course, we have had such a very difficult year, losing our mother. So Phoenicia would like to dedicate this award to our mom, the late Andrea Charles Brown, who's born and raised in Molyneux, who would proudly flew to St. Kitts and Nevis, flag around the world through her work at the United Nations as an international athlete herself. Mom taught Phoenicia always confidently to do the same. Phoenicia refers to Mom as her warrior and always will be. We all know that Mom would have flown across the world to be the loudest one in the room tonight in honor of Phoenicia. And Phoenicia would like to say that she will always do this for Mom. Thank you all again very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your indulgence. And that ends the award segment of today's proceedings.
So manifest, jump up there, never neglect me. Shop them, so electric. Them your style, so essential. You get the picture, painting perfect.
But my people stay far away. They see them far away. But my people stay far away. Stay far away. On them, keep it alive. On them, keep it alive. On them, keep it alive.
Outside again, in the middle of the street, where the girl them a go find me. Outside again.
Put your hands together for those wonderful dancers. They look good, eh? All right. Moving along, we will have our independence address, which will be broadcasted over the display. So please direct your attention to the display as we introduce the Professor Carol Phillips to do his independence address.
The sister of Queen Elizabeth. Money for schools. Good evening. Scholarship. 40 years ago, I stood beneath the Union Jack. Children are competitive in Warner Park, and they should be encouraged to compete. The clock neared midnight, it became clear that change was in the air. Princess Margaret, excellence. The sister of Queen Elizabeth II stood next to the Premier, Dr. Kennedy Simmons. 2 weeks ago, September 9th, as I welcomed 3 new students into my literature seminar in London. I was there to witness the transference of power. Them all, in turn, as midnight struck, I witnessed the Union Jack. One young woman with a died hole in the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis. I asked her why in Nevis place, what her journey had been. A few weeks later, the United States of America, Ivy League University. As she spoke, it became clear to me, whose head of state was that 40 years on from independence, the Federation was indeed provided an platform for young people, omitted to inform Grenada's and excelled of his intention. However, now, before we start to pat ourselves on the back, let's be honest, she was in action for St. Kitts. There is still plenty of work to be done. There is no such thing. But if independence is to mean anything more in the world, then in this world we're all dependent on somebody. It has to find its meaning. It's an educational opportunity, often temporarily convenient, those young partnerships that we must forge with others who excel, and at school on the island, with our personal friendships to go. These bonds of understanding with others are not easily broken or betrayed. 40 years on from independence, however, we have the right kind of people. Our codependents might be our smaller states to give them the right kind of opportunities. We must learn forward to work. After over 3 decades as a teacher in many parts of the world, in many ways, this one thing has ability to work in partnerships with others. We ought to learn to trust young people of independence and invest to cultivate this ability. So with all and learn and due respect for the many other governmental initiatives with others which need to be carefully considered, my wish tonight is to simply say, after all the years on from independence of our children, we encourage them to continue to invest in their teachers and the young people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And sometimes they are, after all, not the ones. But even when they push back and let us down, we must persist. Thank you. For a country that doesn't invest in young people, and I wish everybody a wonderful evening to be developed. A happy 40th anniversary, Money for Independence, Library, and Scholarship. 2 weeks ago, as I welcomed the new students into my literature seminar at Yale University, I asked them all in turn where they were from. One young woman replied, Nevis. I asked her where in Nevis and what her journey had been from St. Kitts and Nevis to this Ivy League university. As she spoke, it became clear to me that 40 years on from independence, the Federation was indeed providing a platform for young people to succeed and excel. However, Before we start to pat ourselves on the back, let's be honest here. She was an exception. There is still plenty of work to be done. But if independence is to mean anything more than an excuse for a national holiday and a fete, it has to find its meaning in the educational opportunities available to those young Kititians and divisions who excel at school on the islands and who want to go further. Scholarships, please. Incentives. 40 years on from independence, we have the right kind of young people. It's our responsibility to give them the right kind of opportunities to move forward. After over 3 decades as a teacher in many parts of the world, one thing has become clear to me. We ought to learn to trust young people and invest heavily in them. So with all due respect to the many other governmental initiatives which need to be carefully considered, my wish tonight is to simply say, 40 years on from independence, let's continue to invest in the young people of St. Kitts and Nevis. They are, after all, not the ones who are going to let us down. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I wish everybody a wonderful evening and a happy 40th anniversary of independence. Good night.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's quiet down. We've come to the point of the evening when we're going to welcome the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Drew, to the stage. Dr. Terence Drew.
Good night to everyone. Can you hear me? All right. When Kittitians and divisions come together, it's a party in itself without music. All right, so I can hear a lot of the interactions, which means that you are happy to see each other this evening. But it does give me great pleasure to say a few words to you this evening. But let me first recognize the Foreign Minister, the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. Put your hands together for him. The Minister of Sustainable Development, the Honorable Dr. Joel Clark. I want to also recognize the Ambassador to the United States and the OAS, Her Excellency Jacinth Henry Martin. Put your hands together for her as well. Also to recognize our representative here to the United Nations, Her Excellency Nevis Dockery. Put your hands together for her. I also want to recognize all of the persons who are part of the team at the permanent mission here at the UN, and to say to them that you have been doing an excellent job and you have been working hard. But part of the team that has come with me is, one, the PS in the Office of the Prime Minister, Ms. Hazel, who is also here with me. Put your hands together for her. The PS for Foreign Affairs, Ms. Bass, who is also here. If you can put your hands together for her as well. I also know that it's getting a little bit late, but I just wanted to share a few words with you about the state of affairs of your country, St. Kitts and Nevis. 40 years of independence deserves a resounding round of applause from all the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. It's a tremendous, tremendous feat. And we have come against great odds to achieve this feat, and therefore encourage us never to take it for granted. It is quite important that a small country like us could thrive for 40 years and be among the nations of the world and say to the world that St. Kitts and Nevis deserves its place, not just because it's a country, but it has lived up to its creed to say to countries that we are advancing as a country. And therefore, you have a lot to be proud of. As you know, very recently, we had a spectacular event for our 40th anniversary of independence. I know you must have watched it from across here in New York City and across the world to see what St. Kitts and Nevis will do for its 40th. But as far as the state of affairs in our country are concerned, your country is solid. Your country, St. Kitts and Nevis, is on a good foundation to move forward. But I want to say to you here in the diaspora, and I promise you that I will not only come back to visit you and to speak to you just when it's election time, but that we will continuously engage each other so that together, even from here, we can build St. Kitts and Nevis. And that is why we have decided that here in New York City, we will have a replica of what we had in St. Kitts and Nevis so that you can feel a part of your own country. That is our commitment to you. I want to say to you that the Secretariat of the Diaspora Affairs is well established. And we are asking you to be a part of nation building. That whatever you can contribute as a citizen, even though you live here, that there is room for you to continue the progress that we are seeking in St. Kitts and Nevis. You can be a part of that progress. And so whatever you do here, I want you to be a part of St. Kitts and Nevis and to be a part of the advancement. And so the Secretariat will definitely be reaching out to you. But I want to say that we are on a path to establishing a sustainable island state. A country, a state that is premised on a number of critical principles, one being sustainable energy sources and renewable energy resources, or sources, sorry. The other being water, making sure that our people have access to water. The other being making sure that our people have access to healthcare, making sure that our people have access to housing, making sure that our people have access to education so that they can advance themselves in this world today. And so your country is pursuing a sustainable island state where all of its citizens can have the opportunity to advance and advance themselves well. So I ask you to be a part of that with us. But let me update you on a number of critical things that are taking place in St. Kitts and Nevis. As you know, we just launched the Reset program. Have you heard of Reset Independence 40? That Reset program is really to help our people to get themselves back on track as we move forward in a post-COVID world. And so we have done a number of critical things for our people. One, we have set aside and we have restructured any debt that persons might have accumulated from their electricity bill, their water bill, their student loans, their NHC housing bill, to ensure that they can move forward in the new economy that we are seeking to establish. But in addition to that, we know that our people went through great difficulties during COVID. And as workers of St. Kitts and Nevis, those who work hard to build our country, we decided to give our workers in St. Kitts and Nevis a bonus to say thank you for all that you have done to make St. Kitts a successful, independent country. We will never forget you and the sacrifices that you would have made. The days you work in the sugarcane fields, or your grandparents work in the sugarcane fields. The days you work all the jobs for minimal wage, building an independent country. And your country today stands in a better position than it was in 1983. And to say to all of our workers, for all that you have contributed, we wanted to say thanks in a tangible way. And that is why we gave a workers' bonus for Independence 40. Nothing like that had been done previously. And so what we have done in St. Kitts and Nevis with the reset, it is the only place in the Caribbean that has offered its citizens such a policy program. And we set to put you back on your feet so that you can fully participate in the construction, the establishment of a sustainable island state. And I want to say and wrap up tonight, as it's getting late and I have to speak at the UN tomorrow, that I want you to join me in cheers for your country. So grab your glass with me. Can you get me a glass, please? I want to see everybody with a glass. Can you get me a glass, please? All right. All right, can all of us please stand up? Can we all please stand with a glass in our hand? Let us show respect for our country at 40 years. Those of us who can stand, can we all please stand for St. Kitts and Nevis? Can we all now dedicate some silence to your country, St. Kitts and Nevis? And we will give 3 cheers for 40 and for more to come. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Happy Independence 40. Thank you very much.
We're almost there. All right, your attention please while we close out the program. Your attention please, your attention please. All right, we're almost there. We're ready to dance, but before we do so, let's introduce, or let's invite rather, Mr. Keith Harris, the Diaspora Relations Officer, to the podium to give the vote of thanks.
I adopt the protocol that has been previously established. It is a pleasure and a distinct honor to express heartfelt appreciation to you on what I consider to be a memorable event. The 40th anniversary of independence is no small achievement for this Twin Island Federation that we are proud to call our home. We are grateful to be in the esteemed company, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, our Prime Minister, and our former Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. We are honored that despite your busy schedule, you have so graciously consented to spend the evening with us. Honorable Prime Minister, we know that you address the United Nations tomorrow, and yet you have committed to be here this evening to celebrate with the citizens in the diaspora the 40th birthday of our nation. We in New York are privileged and honored to have the evening event held under your auspices, and more importantly, to have you greet us on this historic occasion. Thanks, therefore, to the government for affording us the opportunity to host this event, and special recognition to our members of the delegation in attendance with us this evening. We express our sincere gratitude to those who have brought greetings. We say a special thank you to Her Excellency Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin, the Honorable Senator Dr. Joel Clark, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. As we celebrate our 40th decade as an independent nation, focusing on the theme of sustainability, development, and resilience, the contribution of icons such as our honorees demand recognition. Dr. Carl Phillips, Dr. Andrea Douglas, and Young Brown, who showcased the principles of achievement in various disciplines as proud citizens who are not ashamed of identifying with your land of birth while in the diaspora. You are ambassadors, representing the Federation of Sinkit and Nevis, wherever your profession takes you. I would like to recognize the foresight of our ambassador, Her Excellency Nevis Dockery, and the hard work of the planning committee of this event. Thanks very much. To our partners from the Republic of China in Taiwan, we salute you. Thanks to His Excellency Ambassador James Lee for his kind tribute. We thoroughly enjoyed the cultural presentation by the Taiwanese Islanders. We are also celebrating 40 years of diplomatic relations with the government and people of the Republic of China and Taiwan. Our appreciation is extended to MC Carolyn Williams, our Master of Ceremonies, for her opening remarks and for ably conducting this evening's ceremony. Thanks to Pastor Tarisha Millard for invoking God's blessing on this evening event. We are grateful to Abina Amari and Ali Dance Splash for their splendid performances. To our ushers, thanks for your volunteerism depicting our motto, country above self. Thanks a million. Thanks to you, our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, for your attendance this evening. Let us enjoy the rest of the evening with the sound of our guest band and our guest artist, the Breakaway Band. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Okay. DJ run it again. Yeah. I turn up the fed till it's on over. I turn up the fed till it's on over. Boy, I just wanna get this feeling only. I just wanna drink and party only. Yeah. Give a little money to the promoter. Boy, give a little money to the promoter. I just wanna get this feeling only. I just wanna drink and party only. All I want is a little more fed with you. All I want is a little drink with you. All I want is a little more fed with you. All I want is so tell me the party over. Oh no, oh Lord, oh no. Oh Lord, oh no. I turn up the fed till it's on over. I turn up the fed till it's on over. I just wanna get this feeling only. I just wanna drink and party only. Yeah. Give a little money to the promoter. Give a little money to the club owner. I just wanna get this feeling only. Yeah. I just wanna drink and party only. Right here in the back, we go tiggy licky. It's right and we eat in iron right here in the back,
Mashing up the street, we are in the back. We go tingy-licky, tingy-licky, tingy-licky. It's right vibes and we be till I and right here in the back. Go straight in the kitchen, grab a pot and then start beating your women. Level, 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 level. Alright, the back and making their own rhythm section. Alright, section 1, here one way to sing for me. Sing this. Bing, 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 ba-ding.
All right, everyone, after a great evening, I want to remind you of the 40 years of anniversary Independence Thanksgiving service tomorrow at Crawford Memorial United Methodist Church. All right, 1 second while we remind you of some other events this weekend. Just as a reminder, again, that on Sunday, 24th September at 4 p.m., please join us at the Crawford Methodist Church on 3757 White Plains Road for the Independence Thanksgiving service.